music essentially is spiritual inspiration. You know, the sound, the chords, the rhythms inspire you if you receive the music, you know, properly. So if you're that type of person, then this type of music is really going to call you more than what's kind of going on in the world today. And so this called me tremendously. And you know what they did? They opened their arms. You got to imagine, like, I'm 51. I got the AARP card the other day. So he's introducing the group as this young, new, young, you know, charismatic group, and I'm like, okay, thanks for the adjectives. Size 50. But they embraced me. God bless all of them. You know, they embraced me like, you know, I was part of their family. And so began many performances and visits to small churches in the summertime, and it's hot, and in the wintertime, with sound system, without sound system, recording, being creative, coming together, all in this beautiful spirit, you know. And I swam in this. And they knew that I was swimming in it, because all the time they would go, oh my God, did you hear what he played? But they didn't know that it wasn't what I played, it's what I was receiving from them. The beauty of the gift of music, when you hear something that inspires you, what comes back out is the thing that most blows me away, to use a colloquialism in today's kind of world. So what's the point behind all this? You know, so I'm like, God, you know what? This is just, you know, fantastic. It's not fame. It's not like I don't have to be a genius with theory. I don't have to play like John Coltrane. But, you know, so much is coming out of music. And so, you know, fast forward a little bit, you know, I was suddenly stricken with a very severe cancer. This was 2 years ago. And it was kind of a shocking thing for everyone who knew me, because I had accomplished this great kind of level of physical excellence that, you know, guys that I've worked with for many years would go, my God, Harry, I mean, you know, you have the body of like a 25-year-old. How did you do that? You know? Little did they know, and here's the point, that it was my spiritual willpower at 5 in the morning to get up and do that over time that accomplished that. That was the secret. So I faced this challenge now, and you know, I had no signs or no symptoms, right? And this is the thing of life. You know, and I remember my father very early on in my life telling me, Harry, make sure you do smart things with your youth, because there's going to come a time in your life where it's going to start to rain. And you better have that umbrella. And you know, I didn't know exactly what he meant. You know, when you're 19, 20, 21 years old, you're like, yeah, Dad, yeah, whatever, I'll be cool. You know, everything will be all right. But thank God that I did some things that put me in a position to have the health benefits to take care of the things that were going to take my life. A lot of things to this story. I'll close quickly. I know I'm taking too much time. So I'll get to the end of this. So the end of this is that essentially I had a stage 4 advanced lymph node cancer in my throat 2 years ago. And the prognosis was I had 6 months to live. Now I did everything right. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I wasn't out all hours of the night, but this thing came my way. And the challenge was, for me, when this thing came, was I knew that everybody who knew me was going to watch how I was going to walk this walk now. Because I walked another walk, of strength, power, agility, you know, like I was like an Olympic athlete. Now, let's see what Harry's going to do. But you know what I learned? What I learned in the 20 years of doing those very difficult physical things was that I developed what's called spiritual fitness. And that's my message for all of you today. My message for all of you today is make sure that as you walk this walk in life, and you're feeling like all the normal things that you consider normal, don't be deceived by that, because in a flash, something could change. And if you're not spiritually fit, if you haven't lifted the spiritual weights and ran the spiritual miles and done the spiritual chin-ups and pull-ups and push-ups, when the challenge comes, you have nothing. And a lot of people, they give up. But that's when God says, got you. Walk with me. Because there's nobody's going to help you but me and your spiritual fitness. And that's how you're going to succeed when the things go wrong. Because it's easy when the things are right, right? You know, that's what the world is facing today. You know, 10, 15 years ago, people had tons of money, and they were buying houses and flipping houses and buying stock. You know, I remember friends of mine telling me, oh, Harry, you know, I'm going to give you a tip on stock. Okay? Things changed. A lot of people weren't spiritually fit when they lost everything. A lot of people jumping off roofs and taking all kinds of pills and going to see doctors. So I'll wrap this up by saying, God bless us all for having the gift of understanding, for having the willpower to listen and to try and to put effort into the things that we know are difficult as we face every day. And most important, don't take anyone for granted. I love you, Jenny.